If you're like me, I'm tired of the entire SUV craze here in America. I want something a little bit more unique and different, but I think I might have a solution for you guys in this video today. Hey guys, it's Chris, and in this video I'm super excited to present the Kia K4 hatchback. Now it's actually quite interesting because I drove the Civic hatchback a few years back. I'm actually quite interested to see how this vehicle compares against that. Now the beauty about a hatchback is you get SUV practicality in a vehicle that handles and takes corners very well. It's in a car silhouette, which looks so cool. Now the overall look of this vehicle definitely is screaming shooting brake vibes, which I will talk about a little bit later. But you know what? This one does have remote start. We are gonna lock the doors, hold down the key fob, boom, on the first try. But now, let's go ahead, drum roll, get into this review. Woo! Looking outside of the 2026 Kia K4 GT Line Turbo Hatchback, this is your key fob with the unlock, lock, panic button, and remote start feature on this side of the key fob. As equipped, this vehicle is $32,625, dressed in a Aurora Black Exterior on a black and red Syntex Interior. Now this one does also include the technology package for $2,300, which bundles in some more driver-assist technology and creature comforts, with all information being in the description below. But looking at your exterior design right here, you got these very distinctive amber DRLs, which doubles as your turn signals, and LED low and high beams right there. Kia badging is up top, with a newer interpretation of the Tiger Nose grille, front and center. You'll also find a sensor for your Kia DriveWise driver assist technology down below. We will try that on the road, of course. But coming over here to your wheels, we have a black 18-inch Aerospoke design wheel wrapped in an all-season tire. Keyless entry for your front door handles. This right here is your window sticker. Check out all options and features in the description below for this vehicle right here. You also have a moonroof up top to give you an air filling inside of the cabin. Now looking a little bit more at the side profile, I'm seeing a lot of shooting brake vibes going on right here. Overall vehicle length is 174.4 inches long from nose to tail. Keep in mind the sedan overall length is about 185.4 inches long, so this is 9 inches shorter overall. You'll also find a 12.4 gallon gas tank over here on the driver's side. You can't see that squared off rear greenhouse design, which looks pretty cool. But around back, you'll find a full LED taillight setup back here for your LED brake lights and turn signals, as well as your reverse lights, which is further down below in the rear diffuser, and a single exit exhaust tip on the passenger side. Let me get a quick 3/4 shot from the rear so you can see that whole hatchback design, which looks pretty cool. Now to open the rear lift gate, you have a release right here by the Kia badge. Now behind the second row seats, you'll find 22.2 cubic feet of space. If you do fold down the seats in a 60-40 split, that expands to 59.3 cubic feet of space. You have your CarPlay floor mats right here, a subwoofer for the 8-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, some illumination over here on this side, and a temporary spare tire down below. To close the rear liftgate, you have a handle right here. But now, let's check out under the hood where all the action happens in the new K4. Now, like mentioned in a couple of my other K4 videos, there is a base powertrain, which is your 2-liter inline 4-cylinder that makes 147 horsepower. But this right here is the upgraded motor, which I'm super excited to show you guys. Now, under the hood of this turbo variant, you will find a 1.6-liter turbo inline 4-cylinder that makes 190 horsepower and 195 pound-foot of torque through a 8-speed automatic transmission. MPG figures are 26 city, 33 highway, and 28 combined, with a curb weight of 3,338 pounds. Now, I really do like the overall look of the new K4, especially in this hatchback body. The overall body design and lines are a lot more cohesive in this hatchback variant compared to the sedan. It's actually quite funny because I think the designers started with the hatchback body and then worked their way over to the sedan counterparts. but I really do like the overall look and design of this. Now, this is taking more of the Mazda approach where the exterior is a lot more understated, whereas the last generation screamed a lot more sporty and aggressive with like red brake calipers, sporty exhausts which were exposed. This one right here is hidden. It's definitely a lot more under the radar, clean and sleek and modern on the overall look. Here's a quick 3/4 shot, but now let's check out the interior where all the action happens. So let's go! These rear door handles remind me of my Veloster quite a bit. That third rear door. Now, sitting behind myself at 5'6", when I have the seat adjusted for me, I have about 5 to 6 inches of legroom. As far as headroom goes, it's way better in the hatchback. I have about probably 2.5 to 3 inches of headroom. It is very good back here. Speaking of amenities in the second row seats, obviously you have your window controls over here on the door panels. Some air vents right here, and 2 integrated USB-C ports right here for charging only. You move up top to let in some natural light. And here's a quick look to the cockpit right there. But now, let's take out the driver's seat where all the action happens in the new K4. Let's go! Let's go, baby, let's go! Hatchback. Now, looking at the interior, this is a black and red Syntex Interior. You have your 10-way power driver's seat right here with your lumbar support. The passenger seat is manual adjustable, and the steering wheel is also manual adjustable. Thanks to that technology package, we have 3-stage heated and cooled seats, as well as the heated steering wheel and 2-person memory. Window and mirror controls right here. Hood release is down below with your cluster illumination, electronic parking brake, and traction control functions right there. Now, looking at the interior of the new K4, you have this 3-spoke steering wheel with the Kia badge slightly offset, which really just drives me crazy. But you also have all your cluster controls over here on my left-hand side, with all my multimedia functions on my right-hand side right there. Paddles behind the wheel with your light controls and wiper controls over here on that side. Now, this is a 12.3-inch display setup right here. And one thing I want to show you guys is the drive mode setup. So it's right here on the steering wheel inside of the spoke. You have your sport and normal drive mode for everyday driving. It's pretty straightforward. Now, when you do activate the turn signals, that will pull up your blind spot camera mirror, which is pretty cool on both sides. I can use the page button right here to cycle between all my various different functions and displays. So I have my driver assist view. Now, the speedo, tire pressures, MPG settings are right there, and also a navigation view. Everything is pretty straightforward right there. But looking over here at your main infotainment, this is also a 12.3-inch display unit right there. You also have embedded navigation, so let's try a navigation test. As you can see, it's pretty quick to find a prompt with no problem at all. But going back to your main homepage right there, you also have a couple of shortcut buttons just below the infotainment screen to streamline the process of navigating everything in here. You also have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. This one does have a 8-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, so I'm super excited to try this setup out right here. So let's go. Now, the system itself definitely does have impressive bass and sound quality. I say it's definitely up there with the best from mainstream products like the Bose sound system, for instance. But looking a little bit more at your main infotainment, you have your phone settings over there on this side. I can swipe over for my CarPlay. You also have built-in YouTube entertainment settings right there, voice memos, weather. Some vehicle setups are right under this menu right here, which you can change and adjust. So let me show you guys that. You have your driver assist page right here for your Kia DriveWise Tech, which you will try on the road again, but you can't adjust everything under this menu. Your climate control settings, seat settings right there, your light control settings for the multicolored ambient lighting. Again, that is thanks to the technology package. So let's try out the ambient lighting. So you can see right here, you have illumination right here, as well as over here on the door panels. So I can change all the various different colors right there. And you also have a custom set color, which you can change and configure. So I can go to a red, blue, a green, white, light blue. You also do have a yellow right here, and that's like an orange delight, which is pretty interesting. You can also set a custom color right here under this menu, which you can adjust under this whole color palette. Door settings right there. digital keys, convenient settings for your service intervals, and wireless phone charging pad. Navigation, some more sound settings, device connections, user profile stuff, screen layouts, and one of my favorite things is the buttons button right here. So in short, you have your favorite start button right here. As was over here on the steering wheel, you can actually preset that favorite button if you need to get to a specific menu in a fast manner, as well as your steering wheel button right there. It really just streamlines the entire process. So if you need your driver assistance immediately, you have it right there. Boom, select that, you're good. You also have over-the-air updates embedded inside of this infotainment screen right here. Of course, all the shortcut buttons for the infotainment, volume is in the middle. A dual zone climate control setup right here. You can change and adjust all your temperature. It pulls up inside of this display, and you also have this little helper 5-inch display right here. Now from the driver's perspective, you won't be able to see it, but over on the passenger side you'll see it quite easily. So when you're sitting from the driver's perspective, if you adjust the temperature, it will actually pull up in the secondary menu right here, which is way more visible. Looking further down below, you have your USB-C ports. When it's illuminated white, that's just for charging only. When it illuminates orange, that's for charging and connectivity to the infotainment. You also have another USB-C port right there for charging only, and a 12-volt charger on that side. Wireless phone charging pad is down below with your push button start right here. This right here is your gear shifter for the HP Auto. I can go back to reverse. You have a full 360 camera with trajectory lines, a top-down view over there on the right-hand side, and you also have a full 360 view around the exterior of the K4. You can obviously change your various different zones and so on right here under that menu. And then when I go like for neutral drive, I can also activate the front view camera system right there, which is pretty interesting. You can change all your various different zones for the front end display. Back for park, you also have a manual mode right there, your auto hold function, as was your 360 camera shortcut button right here. And you also have your sensors button for your parking sensors front and rear. Center console, pretty good storage. You also have your integrated cup holders right here if you do push these buttons, with some more storage right there. Looking up top, you have your telematic stuff with your illumination. You can also tilt and slide the moonroof up top, and you can also vent it as well. But now, let's go for rear wheel testing in the new K4 hatchback. So let's go! One, I'm super excited to be behind the wheel of the K4 hatchback. Let's go. Yeehaw! Now speaking of visibility out the front, rear, and sides, I can see very good over the hood, as well as out the side mirrors and even out the back for a hatchback design like this. Now speaking a little bit more about the overall design and visibility, it is great out the front, rear, and sides with these digital camera mirrors on both sides, which really comes in clutch with sideward visibility. Now let's speak a little bit more about the exterior design of the K4 hatchback, because I gotta say this, right? I think that the Kia designers started with the hatchback design as a concept and then worked their way over to the sedan. The body lines on this hatchback are a lot more cohesive. They really complement each other, whereas the sedan counterpart honestly felt like a little bit of an afterthought in certain aspects of that, but these wheels really complement this Aurora Black Exterior. This is an 18-inch wheel setup, front strut, rear multi-link setup out back. And overall vibe is really giving me like a shooting brake. You have this squared off rear greenhouse, semi-long hood, and then the striking amber DRLs up front. And it has a lot of presence on the road, especially in this hatchback body style. Now speaking of the driving dynamics, or how does it drive on a daily basis, right now I'm in sport mode. You also have your normal mode right there. This is powered by the 1.6 liter turbo inline 4-cylinder. That makes it 190 horsepower, 195 pound-foot of torque through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Gone is the 7-speed DCT transmission due to its kind of like herky-jerky response at low-speed driving. And in its place is this torque converter automatic, which is way smoother, way more refined. Does definitely lose a little bit of engagement versus the 7-speed, but I like the overall experience of this. Now it rained a little bit earlier, so we are going to be struggling a bit for traction, all 195 pound-foot of torque, might I add. Now doing a try a quick 0 to 60 from the stab. I'm going to brake boost a little bit, and then I just left traction on, and we'll see how it does. was brisk. Honestly, not bad at all for this 1.6 turbo. Now this is actually rated at 28 mpg combined, which is quite impressive. Again, the main competitor to this vehicle is the Honda Civic Hybrid in the sport touring hatchback variant, which runs about $36,000 and is known as the most dynamic entry in the segment. I can honestly highly recommend that vehicle. When it comes to the dynamics, it's just superior. And it also does blend in a hybrid powertrain, which gets like in the 40s mpg combined, which is also impressive. Now, a couple of things you will notice driving the hatchback versus the sedan body is the reduced overall length. So the sedan counterpart has an overall length of 185.4 inches long from nose to tail. This one has an overall length of 174.4 inches long from nose to tail. And you can definitely feel it's a lot more tight, a lot more nimble, a little bit more sporty, a little bit more zippy, we can say, in this hatchback body style. Now also too, let's talk about capacity, because capacity also goes up when you go for this hatch body design. This one is rated at 22.2 cubic feet of space, whereas the sedan has 14.6 cubic feet. And mind you, if you do fold down the rear seats, that will expand even more to 59.3 cubic feet. Now this vehicle is very refreshing because in a world full of all these compact SUVs, a lot of people really don't need compact SUVs. I think you could really get away in a hatchback design like this. You get all the benefits and practicality and better handling, because if you guys know, I'd be stuck behind a lot of these SUVs taking these corners at like 10 miles an hour. Be like, come on, get out the way. Real car coming through. I'm just kidding. But yeah. The hatchback to me honestly is the superior body style. It's a lot more refreshing. I really like this look on this particular hatchback. Now you can't obviously get a more bright and I guess poppy color, if you will, but honestly the understated black with the all blacked out wheels all murdered out really looks well. Now I did a quick 40-meter dash, budget 40-meter dash, where I ran to throw my backpack in the car, and time myself, and that was under like I think 10 or 15 seconds. So your boy still got it. Now this gear badge is like slightly offset right over here, which honestly it messes with my OCD a bit. It's like, bring it over to the center. I guess it's interesting, right? Now let's control it manually and let's enjoy this back road a bit. We got this Highlander right here in front of me, so we can't really do much, but we can try to do a little something, something. Come on, give me first. There we go. Yeah, traction control was kicking in. It rained recently, so we're not getting the most ideal traction. Now speaking a little bit more about the technology baked into this new K4, just like the sedan counterpart that I reviewed almost a year ago, as well as the K4 EX trim, you have a dual 12.3 inch display setup. Now as far as the main cluster right here, everything is pretty straightforward. You have these digital camera mirrors on both sides, which are pretty cool. I just wish that it had a map display right here to give me a more engaging, I guess, driving experience, like kind of cockpit centered like a fighter jet. And as far as the main infotainment over here, this is also a 12.3 inch unit. Wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, very intuitive, connects pretty fast. And this goes through a 8-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. Love that low down torque of this 1.6 turbo. Now this is honestly a great time to demo the 8-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. So let's log in as DJ Chris. And that was 1 minute with DJ Chris. Now let's do one more 0 to 60 for good measure. We're gonna brake boost it. Strong acceleration, yeah. Now, obviously, the base 2-liter inline 4-cylinder is more of the budget-friendly option if you want to keep the MSRP down, but ideally, I think the 1.6 turbo is definitely the engine you want. The low-down torque, the power is just so satisfying. I really do like it. Now, sitting here at the light, a couple things I'm going to talk about is the seat comfort. Seat comfort is great. I have 3-stage heated and cooled seats over here on the door panel. Heated steering wheel. The steering column is manual adjustable. You also have a manual passenger seat with a 10-way power driver's seat. You can also see the full 360 camera right here. In a full 3D view, you have all your various different angles, which is pretty interesting and cool. Look how crisp the graphics are. Very impressive. So you have this camera, and then you can put up these cameras too on both sides, the blind spot camera mirror, and you literally have all this stuff right here, which is pretty cool. Now this one does have the technology package that's $2,300, so that bundles in your multicolor ambient lighting, ventilated seats, 360 camera, a couple of other creature comforts, as well as Highway Driver Assist 2 technology, which I'm excited to try out right here when we hit the highway. Now the Highway Driver Assist 2 is part of the Kia DriveWise technology, so let's go ahead and let's check out the adaptive cruise control feature right here. I can set it right there and adjust my speed. Now, as you can see right here, it has up to 4 following distances or all the way down to 1, as you can adjust right here. Now, to me, I think level 1 is pretty safe for everyday driving. In reality, it's more like 1.5 following distance. There's still a bit of safety integrated into the system right here. And of course, we got a red light. Oh no. But as far as the adaptive cruise control goes, I think honestly Honda has like the best following distance when it comes to the levels. First off, if you go level 1 in a Honda product, it'll be dead set on level 1 following distance. This still has like that safety net built in, so it's like an additional half a car length integrated to really be safe, I guess we can say. Now you do also have lane keeping assist with steer assist, which you can change right here on the steering wheel on the fly. So we need to deactivate that real quick. It's right here. And once we get going, let's try out the lane keeping assist feature. So the beauty about the lane keeping assist feature, if I do veer over a bit, it will give me steering intervention and pull me back over into my lane. Once this Mustang passes out, just veer over a bit and show you guys a little demo of that. So if I do veer over, you'll get a shimmy in the steering wheel, and it'll also pull me back over right there. Pretty interesting. Really love these blind spot camera mirrors though on both sides. It's just so cool. Now, as we get a little bit closer to the dealership, what is my overall opinion and conclusion on the new Kia K4 hatchback? Honestly, when it comes to a design perspective, I prefer this vehicle over the sedan. I think this is the better body style. You get so much more for your dollar. Now, comparing this against the Civic hatchback, that'll run you about $36,000, $35,000, $36,000, depending on options and stuff. Whereas this one's about $33,000. So you save about $3,000, which can go to like tax, title, fees, and stuff of that nature. And you just get so much more features baked into this vehicle compared to the Civic. It's literally like luxury car features at a mainstream car price tag. So you get Mercedes, BMW, Audi features in normal car pricing. Plus you're back with the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, your 3-year, 36,000-mile comp maintenance, and all that fun stuff. And my dealership will get you right in terms of pricing. I do highly recommend the technology package. That's $2,300. That adds in all your additional creature comforts, the ambient lighting, which is pretty cool. It's really such a nice vibe at nighttime, really is. You really get this disco type of theme going on, and I like it. I also do like this red interior with the black Syntex accenting. We have red on the steering wheel in some unique locations, as well as on the door panels. Now, I will say this, right? Compared to the last generation Forte, I feel like the last generation Forte had more of a fun, youthful edge. This definitely is going more the mature route in terms of exterior design. But in short, that's really all I have to say with the new K4. I do like it though. It's really the value proposition in the segment for what you get for the money. Now, yes, the Civic is more dynamic, but you can't argue what you get, right? Feature per dollar ratio, absolutely. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna wrap this video. This is Chris signing out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.